general things, and only in the end he showcased the AI capabilities of Microsoft, the Copilot. Even I am a user of Copilot, just to tell you. So I think after Professor Balakrishnan's supercomputing thing, the numbers he spoke of, right? All the petaflops and also what I'll be talking about is purely product. Don't expect any general GAN from me, like Nishchay did. Okay, no rishis, nothing. I'll be purely talking about TP-Link because TP-Link currently is at a cusp wherein we have entered the enterprise segment. TP-Link, very popular brand, right? TP-Link, how many of you have TP-Link routers in their home? Yeah, lot of, right? So, just to tell you, कि सिर्फ घर का router नहीं, okay, we also make enterprise grade products, and that's why I am here today, right? So, to talk about TP-Link. So, yeah, I am Sumith Satheesan. I think there was a nice intro given. Yeah, and I head the enterprise solution consulting team, which means that we have enterprise products, right? So, I'll be talking about TP-Link's elevated enterprise solutions. So, again, purely about TP-Link. So, TP-Link, how many of you think TP-Link is a Chinese brand? Okay. Yes, it started as a China brand. Now there are two entities. TP-Link China does business in the mainland China. And then there is TP-Link Global, which is a US-based company. Okay. And TP-Link India is part of the TP-Link Global, right? So we are talking about a company which is now US-based and which serves in 170 plus countries, right? So that's Irvine, California, our current headquarters. That's also our R&D center. In fact, we are also developing more on the cyber security side of things, right? So I'll be talking about that later in my slides. Of course, 6 sales region, we fall under the Asia Pacific region. And just to tell you, India is a very prominent country for TP-Link. Now, why I'm saying this, there's a very important stats you should know. For any other MNC, okay, APAC region is like less than 22% of the global revenue, okay. Within APAC, India is just 15%. So if you look at the whole globe, India or the requests, the feature requests coming from India are treated, just think of the priority it would have. It is very less. But then when it comes to TP-Link, we have India as a very prominent player. In fact, we are among the top 4 countries in the TP-Link Global, right? Talking about TP-Link, TP-Link has a lot of brands. So not just the routers in your home, which comes under this TP-Link Deco thing, but then we are talking about Omada. Omada, it's a Greek word meaning team, okay? So why the name Omada? Because we are talking about SDN technology, we are talking about technology wherein all your switching, all your wireless and all your gateways come in a single dashboard. So you can create, you can control them, so it's a single dashboard thing, so that's Omada. Of course, TP-Link, the home user, it's very popular brand name. Tapo, Tapo is basically our IoT, it is more on the consumer side. In fact, just to tell you one figure, Tapo brand is very, has a NPS score of 4.6 on Amazon US. So NPS stands for the Net Promoter Score. It is to do with the online sales which happens, the reviews it gets and stuff like that. So 4.6 out of 5 is a very good number. In India also, of course, online if you search, for a generic wireless router, 10 out of 8 result you will get TP-Link. So very strong when it comes to consumer and home. VG is basically short form or the short term for Vigilance, that is our surveillance. So we are, in Tapo we do have the cameras, wireless cameras which are mainly used in homes and all, right? But then VG is the enterprise level, so we have got all those solutions which are needed in the corporates, as we call it as surveillance solutions, right? Aginet specifically meant for service providers. So if your home router, if you are not able to use with any other ISP provider, it is because they are using Aginet. So after using Aginet, even if you reset your router, it will come back with the ISP provider's gateway and DNS, right? So that gimmicky is done by Aginet. Kasa is a brand we are not promoting in India, but then it's again into the home branding segment, right? So of course, so this we have, as I was saying, TP-Link is very big when it comes to TP-Link Global. So we have got head office in Mumbai. 50 kilometers away, we have got our warehouse that's in a place called Vasai. Of course, we have got all our branch offices, more than branch offices, we have got service centers. More than all these things, what we have is basically sales or pre-sales team available almost pan-India, right? And the best part is that we have created a very nice distribution ecosystem. So even if you go to Class B, Class C cities, you will find some TP-Link distributor there, right? So the services are very easy and things like that. The last thing what we have shown here are the two EMS. So we are into MII. So almost 80% of our products are made in India now, right? So when we say make in India, we are getting it done through these two players. One is PCT in Silvassa. That's again 150 kilometers from Mumbai. People who know it's a union territory basically. Vivan in Gurgaon is another, almost contributing to 15 to 20% of our make in India products, right? So all that put together, we have a good strength in India. Now what I'm going to talk here, okay, there's one more feather in the cap. Now this is a survey done by ABI Research, that's a New York-based global technology intelligence firm. So 55 technology leaders to watch in 2024. Of course, we are almost at the end of the 2024, but then you will find the name of TP-Link, right, down there. Now why down there? Anyone? Alphabetical order, correct. So nothing to, but then there's one slide which would say, okay, so we are also in the top implementers, in the leaders. Now this is the best thing, I think you might be interested in this slide. So many good names you will find below TP-Link. So TP-Link almost ranked 5 here, right? So this is for the full implementation ranking. So this is one of the testimony. Now, the more important thing, of course, we sell in 170 countries and we have been number 1 for consecutive 12 years. This is as per IDC, okay, when it comes to worldwide wireless providers, right? So this is one great testimony what we have. So let's get with the enterprise solutions what we have. Of course, I will not be getting into too much details of things. Now, when we talk of enterprise, this is the first slide we always show. Consecutive 6 years, we are in the Gartner's Magic Quadrant, which is for enterprise wired and wireless LAN, right? Now, people who know, you don't get your name in Gartner's just like that overnight, right? Unless and until you do a good business of 3 to 4 years. And not just that. People, of course, many of you would be knowing, but then just to talk about the Gartner's quadrant, right? The x-axis talks of completeness of vision, which roughly translates to the totality of solution what you have. The y-axis stands for ability to execute, which roughly translates to the global market share you have, right? So TP-Link since 6 years is among the 12 players in the Gartner's Magic Quadrant, talks that we are not just new entrant. So maybe my presentation might give you an impression that, okay, they have come into enterprise. No, what we are trying to tell here, or rather I would say the awareness is that TP-Link is there. We are already doing a lot of things in the enterprise segment, and yes, we are enterprise ready. So next, is that a typo? Typo hai kya? No, it's not a typo. Anybody who knows what is Nexa? Suna hai Nexa? Car showroom. Yeah, sir. Car showroom. Maruti Nexa. Yeah, that I wanted to hear that word, Maruti Nexa. So Nexa, tell me why Maruti had to create Nexa? Premium, right? So we are in the Nexa phase, right? So Nexa ka full form Maruti ka, basically it is new exclusive automotive experience. So they created an exclusive premium showroom so that they can get their S-Crosses, Baleno and premium car segment, right? Because why? Because they were very popular with Maruti 800, with Zen, with Alto, right? So much popular, right, that they had to bring Nexa, and we have the same problem. Tippling, जैसी tippling बोलो घर का router याद आता है. So that's why we are saying here, this is our Nexa movement, and with this session, basically the only intention, or rather my only intention of this whole presentation is to tell you that we are there, we are in the enterprise segment, we can cater to big networks as well, right? So that's the current Omada ecosystem what we have. So we have got all types of access points. As I said, number one champion product line for us. The ceiling mount access point, wall plate, outdoor wireless bridges. In fact, we are also exhibiting here. You can, of course, come down there and see for the details. We are also into switches, right from unmanaged. Of course, unmanaged switches cannot be controlled through the controller, but then right from unmanaged to accessories, but then we have got all the switches till 25 gig, even 100 gig, I'll be talking about that. And then, of course, the gateways, the routers, right? So we have the entire networking ecosystem. And all this can be controlled through Omada controllers, which has three options. There is a CBC, cloud-based controller. You can have a software-based controller, and you can also have a hardware-based controller, right? So the entire ecosystem is there. So what next? Okay, now this spelling is right, correct? This is next phase, okay. So what next? Why are we here? So Omada has an elder brother now, Omada Pro. The only reason to get Omada Pro is because the technology, as Professor Balakrishnan said, right, you have to run behind that. So even if you are running, you are in pace with the technology, right? So with Omada Pro, basically what we intend to do is basically we can get more features so that the entire Omada ecosystem supports the whole new features what I'll be talking about very briefly because the time is very limited. Usually it takes 40 to 50 minutes to explain all the new things coming up. But then through this slide, I would like to just say, so when it comes to controller, we are talking about combining different network elements, right? So there is a wireless access point and there is switching, two different things, right? But then through controller, you can get features like a PPSK. What is PPSK? It's a private pre-shared key. That means, let's take an example of co-working spaces, business centers, right? Now what happens in a business center? People are sitting in this under same roof, but then belong to different companies. So what about the security? If they are using the same Wi-Fi, what about the security? So PPSK is a feature, though you are using the same SSID, you get a different VLAN. So what is happening here? The controller is basically combining the wireless with the switching, right? So those kind of, so I'm again, as I said, there are many features, but then I have listed few just to give you an example. So yeah, enhanced controller. Then what we have is basically when it comes to access points, we have got high density access points because nowadays everyone is carrying a mobile with OTT, live streaming and stuff, right? So the internet heavy usage, right? So you need high density wireless, right? And again, wired networks are slowly reducing and wireless are making more prominent networking choice as such. So yeah, we are getting high density devices, or rather we have GPON based devices also, right? So if there's a fiber and we also have GPON APs. And there are features like WIPS, WIDS, right? That is wireless intrusion prevention and detection system. So if any hacker is trying to do a de-authentication, okay, there would be a counter to it, right? So if there is any rogue AP, it can be quarantined. If there is any rogue client, it can be quarantined. So those kind of features we have come up with. Then talking about switches, right? So till date, we were talking about 25G is our max. So we were not talking about core. Maybe at aggregation level, we were talking. And tippling is very popular when it comes to the access level because tippling has great range of PoE switches, right? But then, yeah, we were missing the aggregation and core, but now we have, in fact, the last week concluded IFSEC in Delhi, we showcased our 100 gig switches. We have one kept here, so you can have and come. You can come and have a look, right? So we have reached that 100 gig to 40 gig kind of a network. So getting into the data centers, getting into high-end enterprises would be easy for us now. And what about the gateways? If you notice, the term router got changed to gateways. Now this is a big change, right? Now I actually come from the cyber security background. So people ask me, TP-Link के पास firewall है, do you have firewall? So now I have the answer, okay? The current gateway routers what we have, so now we are calling it gateways, doesn't have stateful firewall, but it has VPN, it has got IPS, IDS, deep packet inspection. But now, this December, we have already, like the beta is running, SD-WAN has come up. So our gateway devices would have SD-WAN feature, right? And then it would follow up with ZTNS, that is Zero Trust Network Access. So what we are saying is that we are going the SASE way. Anybody heard of SASE? Palo Altos and Fortinets talks about SASE, right? So that is Secure Access Service Edge. So our routers have become or are becoming edge now. So we are moving there, right? So that's a big roadmap. Again, there were a few more things, but because of time limit, I'm not taking too much time talking about the roadmap. But then, the enterprise range is exciting. We are ready, and as I said, Gartner 6 years, it is not 6 years, I would say 10 years, plus we have been doing good in this space, and now with core aggregation level switches coming and high density access points coming up, we are up there, right? Now what more? What more? Okay. How many of you know TP-Link also has cameras, surveillance? Okay, yeah, okay. Okay, so we have the VG entire range of surveillance products. So right from your turret cameras to vandal-proof dome cameras to bullet cameras to PTZs to fisheye cameras, everything we have got with all its associated softwares like VMS, the video management system and stuff like that, right? So things on cloud, you can install it on the software and all those things. So I'm not going through the entire portfolio, just to tell you what lies ahead. What lies ahead is basically Omada Central. What is Omada Central? The networking Omada integrating with the video management system in a cloud. So we are talking of an integrated network and video surveillance. I will need a sound because there's a nice video. So we are talking about a system like this, wherein the entire system, right from the surveillance to the networking, is TP-Link. So can we have sound, please?
Solution you are looking for may be like this: simple deployment, unified management, quick troubleshooting, safe operation. Find everything you need in Omada Central. Omada Central enables centralized management of networking and surveillance devices across sites. Omada Central quickly identifies and adopts networking and surveillance products for fast deployment. Quickly monitor network and surveillance status for all sites via the dashboard. Displays site distribution and status visually on the map. When you notice that the device's overall monitoring status is poor, you can click to quickly view the incident list page and suggested fixes for issues such as loop issues. Enable loopback control. To ensure system stability, devices with loops will be disabled to maintain the stability of other equipment. Automatically identifies security devices and divides VLAN for higher security.
So
Advanced AI-driven security software effectively prevents intrusions.
thing.
A powerful firewall and advanced security functions further protect your system.
Okay, so that's Omada Central, and that was my, I would not say last slide. This is the last slide. We have come here VAR India, in fact, have been associated with them for long. And I personally know Dr. Deepak Sahu since very long, right? So yeah, this is the recent accolade we got from VAR India, so thanks for that. So that's emerging player in enterprise LAN infrastructure. So yeah, I would like to end my session with that. So any questions? My team is there, my entire Bangalore team is here, right? So we are exhibiting also. Any questions right now or later? No issues. Later, okay. Okay, thank you very much.